Good evening, everybody. My name is Rita Crumpton. I am the president and CEO of Archimedes Offspring. And we have been walking a lot of folks through the process. And so I figured, tonight we'll talk a little bit about, where you are and what you do next to apply for that Archimedes Offspring mentoring and funding option. So Archimedes Offspring, named after the most prolific inventor of the Western Hemisphere, is the name of our program because we are all the offspring. All of you inventors out there who have that aha moment, that eureka spring of brilliance. And so we wanted you to be able to, ride the wave. And you don't have to be at a specific spot to be eligible to apply and go through the vetting process. So if you are just a beginner, all right, the easiest thing to do is to download the Inventors Galaxy Guide, and you can get that off of the Inventor Lady. All right, so that walks you through the early stages, getting the search done, how the pendulum swings to know what to expect. Go to offspring.com. Click on the Inventor section. And you have to read to the bottom. I get so many people say, oh, why don't you put a button at the top? And why don't you put it in the middle? And why don't you put it on the side? No, you're supposed to read through it. That's why it's at the bottom. There's a lot of information in there that you need to know. And to avoid your contacting me and asking me questions, which I am more than happy to answer, if they are on the page and easily readable, I'm going to say, go back to the Inventors page and read this. I want you to read it. I want you to understand it. When you get to the bottom, it'll start walking you through the steps. You'll be able to see the vetting form. And I had a couple of people today who want to go through the steps. And I said, all right, now, depending on where you are in the process, we'll guide you as to where you start. And for those folks who have not had a patent search done, that'll be the first step. You need to get a comprehensive independent search done. And I know you've done your own. I hope you've done your own. I hope you've taken the blinders off and that you have looked around. And then you have an independent set of eyes. Go out there and do some looking for you. It's important. It's really important that somebody else is going to take a look and search internationally, search for products that the patent doesn't show up yet at the USPTO, or it may not be patented at all, and find those things that would impact your ability to successfully file a patent. Now, we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know for sure that a patent would issue, but we can get a pretty good idea of the chances. I talked to a lady today and asked her, so why is your version better than what's already out there? There are a lot of things that do what your product does. You're just in a different industry. Well, it's made out of something different. It doesn't matter. It's smaller. It doesn't matter. It's got a timer on it. It doesn't matter. The chances of the patent issuing are slim to none. It's not a risk we're going to take. So when I tell you these things to do, I'm telling you for a reason, right? She has spent a lot of money that she probably didn't need to spend, because a good search would have said, maybe not. And then a good patentability opinion, which is the next step. Hopefully the patent attorney is going to say, unless you've got something that is truly new and novel, don't do this, because everything you've got is an obvious improvement. We want you to learn. We want to help you learn. And, we want you to be successful, because if you're successful, we're successful. This is not rocket science. It is one step after another. Now, I had somebody else, their patents all filed. They are getting teed up, but they came to a halt when it came to manufacturing. If your patent is already filed, all right, then we want, did you have the search done before your attorney filed the patent? Yes or no? Pretty straightforward. We want to see a copy of the patent that was filed. If it's been published, all you need to do is submit the number on the vetting form. You're not starting over. And there was a gentleman who said, well, why do I have to do this if I've already done this thing over here? No, you're not doing multiple identical steps. You're doing the search, and the patentability opinion, or you have filed. And if you have filed, you submit the search and what was filed. All right, want to make that clear. We don't need you to back up and start over again. If you've already got prototypes done and you need the funding for that first run, that's fine. You submit what you've got. We don't want to make this more complicated. It doesn't need to be. We can step in with you and start working with you wherever you are in the process to get you to the next step. And that's really important because we've had a lot of people say, well, why do I have to start over again? No, no, no. Don't start over. We are about being frugal with the money. All right. So one of the things that we might do, and especially with people who have filed their own patent pro se, right? We want to take a look then at the search that you had done. And if you didn't have one done, we're going to ask you to get another one done. All right. Then we do want a patentability opinion. Not that I don't trust you, but I'm going to call you on it. All right. There's a reason these guys go to school for a long time and pay a lot of money for their education. It's because there's a nuance to filing. And it's frustrating for me when I get people say, well, I filed pro se, but I had somebody help me. No, we want a registered patent attorney on the darn document. Stop making excuses for not doing it that way. That is just the way it is. Now, what you can do if you've done it pro se is that we're going to ask you to get a search done. And then what we can do is you can submit the search, submit what you filed, and then we will have a registered patent attorney take a look at it and the fund will pay for it. We want a good patentability opinion. We want to know that there's still time to fix whatever you filed. The problem with doing it yourself is that frequently you see what it is, you write what it is. That's not the delicacy of a good patent. A good patent bumps up against the other intellectual property, so somebody can't squeeze in there with a narrow patent and get to market first. There is a reason why we ask you to do it this way, right? So when we say there are steps to follow, how do you get started? There's a guide. It's us, all right? There's the Inventors Galaxy Guide. It's going to walk you through the same steps. But once you fill out the vetting form and we say, okay, let's back up and take a look at this. The funding is going to come in and take care of that. But there are reasons why we are asking it to be done a certain way. And it is to protect you and it is to protect the investors. And these are really important concepts to understand. So we don't care where you are in the process. There are steps to follow. There is a guide if you are just getting started. The Inventors Galaxy Guide will walk you through the phases, walk you through those steps. Those early steps are the things that you need to do. And if you're chosen through the vetting process, we can actually reimburse you for the cost of the comprehensive search and the patentability opinion. So I don't want you to get, worried about, oh my God, I can't spend that kind of money. Some inventors can, some can't. All right. We're okay with that. We understand that process. All right. If you've already filed, we've got one gentleman, his patent is issued. He's getting ready to file another one. Very cool product. So wherever you are in the process that now all of a sudden there's a hang up, there's an issue. The one I couldn't help with today though, when she called, she said, I asked her, it's like, when did you file that patent? And she goes, oh, I think back in 2003. That's a problem. It's expired. We can't do anything with that. I'm really sorry. There are certain things that we cannot fix. That's one of them. So when you start, your patent is starting to get older, the older it is, the more difficult it is for us to step in and help you. So sooner rather than later, earlier rather than later in the process, we want to be there to help you. We want to guide you. We want to let you know what you've got is good or maybe not so good. Sometimes the hardest thing to hear and the best thing to hear is that you shouldn't do this. And I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I will be honest with you. There are times when I'm going to tell you it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen with Archimedes Offspring. It's not going to happen with licensing. And I've seen these before, or there's a reason why this doesn't work. I'm going to be honest with you. So those things said, first steps, read Archimedes Offspring, the inventor side. All right, go down through it, pull up the vetting form, start going through it, get your search done, the comprehensive patent search if you haven't already done one. You can hire a patent attorney to do it. It's going to cost a lot more. You can ask me for a resource. That's fine. And then we want a patentability opinion. If you have an attorney do the search, do not have the same attorney do the patentability opinion. It's a conflict of interest. We have a hard time with that. We want things to be nice and clean and honest. So my name is Rita Crompton. I am the president and CEO of Archimedes Offspring. It is our job to mentor you, to guide you, to answer your questions. And probably the first one I'm going to ask you is, did you go to archimedesoffspring.com, click on the inventor button, and read to the bottom of the page? I hope you say yes. I will talk to you tomorrow.